All right, we are live, guys. Welcome to the live stream. My name is John Kepler. I am the group admin and founder of Focus SketchUp. And today's live stream, we are going to look at doorways, specifically arched doorways. And I'm going to show you how I create them and some pitfalls to avoid. There's a couple tricks that I want to show you to ensure you get a smooth arch. So let's go ahead and just kind of dive in here into the material. I've got my SketchUp file open. I've got a basic wall here. This is nothing fancy, but I got a room in this section. I got a 48-inch wall and another room over here, and just a couple scenes set up. All right, so this is the wall where we're going to put an arch. And let me go in this wall object here. I'm going to put in, let's say, let's go 5 feet by 8 feet. Just using the rectangle tool there. Okay, so I've got that here. Now for the arch, I'm going to do A on the keyboard. And with the arch tool, the way it works is it defaults to 12. I was doing some testing there. That's why it said 160, but it defaults to 12. And that's sides per arc. So if I do this arc, I click the first point, second point, and I'm going to lock it in the blue axis there and move up until it says half circle right there. Click. That builds your arch. Inside this arch, it has 12 lines. Let's zoom in here so you get a better look at that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down to 12. Now, a lot of times you may get away with this, especially if you're not using trim on these, but I don't like this. It looks choppy, especially when you render, you're going to see this choppiness, and your client's probably going to see it too. So we will kind of do some A/B testing here. I'm going to do this arch this way, the wrong way. I'm going to do one how I do it, which has the smooth lines, and we can kind of compare and see the difference. So for this one, we're just going to erase this line here. Select this guy, push-pull tool on the keyboard. It's 48 inches. Bada bing, bada boom. So we punch through the wall. I do know that down here there's some competing planes there. There's the floor plus this wall. So I'm going to delete the wall and delete these lines so our flooring is consistent. Okay. So that is that one. Let's go ahead and do the other method. So again, rectangle, same thing. Let's go 5 feet by 8 feet. And this time, A on the keyboard, type in 160. On the bottom right, you'll see that's where you specify the sides. So 160, enter. Now, my arc is going to have 160 sides. So click first point, click second point, and then move up until you see half circle. And there it is. You can see it kind of locks in place. You can see that. So click there, select on the keyboard. Let's get rid of this line and push-pull tool. I'm going to double click because remember, it always remembers your previous push-pull measurement value. So it knows it's 48 inches. So if I double click, there we go. Now, same thing here. I'm going to clean up some of this geometry. All right. There we go. We have two different arches. Now, you can see the one on the right is so much smoother than the one on the left. All right, so we adjusted the number of sides to the arc. Another thing we want to do is this line right here. Select that, right-click it, go down here and say soften. That is going to soften that entire area, make it very smooth when rendering. Again, over here, we're going to soften that again. And there we go. So here we have two different arch doorways. Now, again, like I said, you could probably get away with this version, but when you add trim, you'll see that choppiness is magnified. So let's use our favorite trim tool here, the Profile Builder extension. And I've got some casing queued up here. You just search, go to your home directory, and again, you have all these different profiles. This tool is what I teach inside of Focus SketchUp, and I show you how to download all of these profiles so you have them on your computer so you can easily drop in trim. Okay, so I want some casing, which is right here, and I can just select anything. For this one, let's just go ahead. Let's do this one. Casing 11. Now, I love a good thick casing on a big arch like this, so let's go to 6 inches. There we go. And this red dot here, I want to make sure that's right on this corner because we're going to be drawing that around the arc. All right, so bottom right. And then what we want to do is you could use this tool. This is the build functionality of this extension. You could build it out manually, which we can try to do. And you'll see here, it is projecting this trim on the opposite side of where we want. So right off the bat, I know I have to adjust the mirroring of this. So I can go here. There's this little triangle mirror icon. Click that. Now let's try it again. I can see now that looks correct. So like I said, you could go along here and try to click as best you can, and it will form kind of like an arc. Not the greatest though, but there's an easier way to do this. So escape, Control Z out of that. What I want to do is select the lines around the door. So this one, the arc, as well as this. And I'm holding down the Shift key on the keyboard to select all of those. Okay. Now what I can use is this guy here. This is the Build Along Path button. So click that. It's going to build along that path. And there we go. That's an easy way to add it around the arch. Now, again, because that arc was only 12 sides, it's choppy. And this trim, you can really see that. So what's it going to look like over here? Well, let's find out. Like this guy, and this guy. And let's use that same tool. It's thinking hard about it. Here we go. Come on, computer. You can do it. There we go. So it did take longer because there are more sides to that arch, so that makes sense. But you can see it looks so much smoother right here than it does over here. And we have those softened sides. So that is how I create my arched doorways. And that is my, not secret, it's not really a secret, just a tip on how to make it as smooth as possible. So that is it. That is the lesson for today. Again, we showed how to use the trim profile builder extension. That's one of my favorites in SketchUp. And showed how to create trim around an arc, and also how to modify the sides of an arc or of the arch tool. So you have more than 12 sides. 12 is the default, but for most things you want more than 12. You do have to be careful though, because the more lines you specify, the more geometry you add to your model, the more complexity. So things could get large in your SketchUp file. But for most cases, it's not that big of an issue. So I prefer the smoothness over any performance issues. So that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Reminder, I do this every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, so tune in for that. And if you are interested in learning more about my courses and my program, go ahead and send me a DM or a comment below, and I can give you more information about that. All right, guys, have a great week, and I'll see you next Tuesday.